Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online regulation C VGC ladder in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and provide live commentary as I go. In this video, I'm going to be trying out a super fun combination featuring Choice Scarf Bruxish as well as Weakness Policy Coalossal. The idea is that Bruxish can enable Weakness Policy on either regular Coalossal or Ground Terra Coalossal through Surf or Aqua Jet, and Coalossal, once it's at +2, can just deal massive amounts of damage. Neither of these Pokemon are meta whatsoever, but when paired with each other, it's actually a really effective duo that can very quickly sweep through teams. As always, I'll do a quick breakdown of the team, but if you want to just skip to the battles, check out the timestamps down in the description below, and thanks so much as always for joining me. If you enjoy, I'd really appreciate it if you consider leaving a like on the video or subscribing to the channel. It really helps out a ton, and we're so close to 200k subs. Today's video is sponsored by Honkai Impact 3rd. A 3D cross-platform anime action game made by Hoyoverse, the creators of Genshin Impact. If you're looking for an incredibly well-polished mobile game, then look no further than Honkai Impact 3rd. Honkai stood out to me personally because of its art, animation, action, music, and storytelling. It's easily one of the most engaging mobile games that I've ever played, and I'm really excited to get to partner with them. Now's the perfect time to get into Honkai Impact. The game recently released the V6.6 update, which comes with new plots, characters, and activities. There's tons of ways to play, ranging from mini-games to full-scale expansions and open-world exploration. If you're interested, download Honkai Impact 3rd now for free and experience the V6.6 update. Check out the pinned comment and link below, and use code NEWCHAPTER to get 30 crystals, 2,888 astrolites, and 1 character trial card for free. New players will have more bonuses in-game to explore as well. Once again, another huge thank you to Honkai and Hoyoverse for sponsoring today's video. First of all, a huge thank you to Japanese player Yuki Rodum for building and sharing this team. I've linked their Twitter down in the description below, as well as a rental and a paste. And question of the day, inspired by us using Bruxish and Coalossal, I want to know what's the wildest combination that you've had to face recently in this format. Now, the first Pokemon I want to talk about, of course, is Bruxish. This Pokemon is just not really seen in VGC whatsoever, and that's mainly because its stats aren't amazing. However, it is super nice when paired specifically with the Coalossal here because, of course, it has multiple ways to activate the Steam Engine and the Weakness Policy like Coalossal has. So, Bruxish's goal is, of course, to enable Coalossal, but it also can actually deal pretty significant damage. At the end of the day, you have a base 105 attack, so base 105 plus Wave Crash does really significant damage, and I've actually had Bruxish close out games after enabling Coalossal. You can even bring this Pokemon by itself, right? You don't always have to lead into Coalossal with this team. You could go like Iron Bundle plus Abomasnow lead with Chimpao and Bruxish in the endgame, for example. But generally, I'm leading this with Coalossal to try to just get Coalossal enabled immediately. Dazzling is its ability here, and it's an incredible ability because it protects both you and your allies from any priority moves, so no fake out, which is really nice against a team like this, because otherwise you could just stop the setup, obviously. So that's one of the main reasons that you want to use Bruxish, and there are a lot of other priority attacks in this format, whether it be Extreme Speed from Dragonite or Sucker Punch from Chimpao, for example. Coalossal here is really straightforward. The main thing to call out, of course, is that it's a physical Coalossal set rather than a special Coalossal set. We saw special Coalossal a lot throughout Sword and Shield, but the thing is, without Gigantamax or Dynamax, physical just feels a little bit more valuable because you just have access to stronger attacks on average, and you have really good coverage between Rock Slide, EQ, and Flare Blitz. Pretty simple, just max attack, max speed, admin nature. With admin max speed at +6, you are able to outspeed Booster Energy, plus speed Iron Bundle, as well as Flutter Mane, which is really nice. And so you're essentially outspeeding anything that doesn't have speed control already on that side of the field, which is incredible. You also have Dragonite here as another way to enable the Coalossal. Dragonite plus Coalossal was actually a duo we saw a little bit of. I had used in Sword and Shield, so pretty similar here. Safety Goggles is just really nice. The main call out here is that the Dragonite is inner focus rather than multi-scale. Multi-scale Dragonite's been everywhere right now in the format, but inner focus makes sense on this team because it just prevents you from leading fake out, and so, or at least like the Dragonite's immune to fake out, right, which is really nice. Also, being immune to Intimidate's quite nice given that we have so many physical Intimidators in the format right now, and so yeah, the idea is that Dragonite here can of course enable Coalossal, but Flying Terra Terra Blast also does a significant amount of damage. Often when you lead Dragonite Coalossal, people will hyper focus on the Coalossal, ignore Dragonite, and sometimes you can just go protect Coalossal, Flying Terra, and then just Terra Blast immediately. So I think that's really fun. You have Abomasnow plus Bundle here. I featured this duel a lot in the last couple of weeks. It really has skyrocketed in usage. Like, I feel like Snow it just finally clicked and people realized, hey, this is actually a really good duo. So yeah, this is Choice Spec Siren Bundle. The main thing to call out here is that you've got Flip Turn, and it's got a decent amount of special defense investment as well, rather than max special attack. But the idea, of course, is to just spam Blizzard often or Hydro Pump and do as much damage as possible. Flip Turn just enables another way to activate Coalossal as well, so you could lead Bundle Coalossal and just go Flip Turn, activate, and then switch out as well. Abomasnow is the next one I talk about here. Pretty standard set. Main thing to note is that it doesn't have Focus Sash. It has Citrus Berry instead, and that's because Sash is on Qianpao, and this is basically the most standard Qianpao set possible. Flexes pretty nicely in with this team. I've had a lot of games where I lead like Bruxish Coalossal and then end the game with Bundle and Qianpao, for example. You could also go Abomasnow Bundle Qianpao, go with the triple Ice Core against teams that have a lot of physical attackers, for example, and maybe don't have as many fire type attackers or ways to hit those three for super effective, for example. So yeah. In terms of ways that I played with the team, I normally ask myself, okay, can I enable Coalossal? And if so, what's the best partner for it? Bruxish is obviously the default goal too. But I'll bring Dragonite if my opponent has Amoonguss, for example, because the safety goggles in particular is so good. That being said, this team is pretty anti-Amoonguss, but still, like, having safety goggles is really nice insurance against it. Also valuable into, say, Jumpluff, for example, right? But yeah, it's often one of, obviously, Dragonite, Bundle, or Bruxish paired with Coalossal as a lead. I think Abomasnow and Bundle is also a really effective duo. Now, one thing with this team you'll note is that it takes really good advantage of making your opponent's, like, Terra look bad. And what I mean by that is when you're facing against Abomasnow and Bundle, you're often going to want to go for something like a Fire Terra or a Steel Terra to be defensive against this duo. What hits those for super effective? Coalossal with ground and fire type attacks, right? And similarly with Coalossal, your opponents will often consider going for, say, something like a Flying Terra to be immune to the Earthquake if you've revealed your ground Terra early, right? Well, Abomasnow and Bundle can really capitalize off that and go for super effective hits. Poison Terra Tinglu as well, that's something that people will do against Abomasnow Bundle, and then Coalossal just can completely demolish it at +2 with ground Terra EQ, for example. So if you can bait your opponent's Terra out early without losing too many of your offensive resources, you'll be very well positioned in the end game. So yeah, like I said, I either consider Coalossal with the Bruxish or the Dragonite most of the time as the lead, or Abomasnow Bundle as the lead, but obviously you have a fair amount of flexibility with this team, which is what I think makes it really strong. In terms of weaknesses, the first thing I'll call out is that Coalossal, even at +2, it's really strong, but it can fail to get knockouts, right? And so you consider that Bruxish, even when Coalossal is ground Terra, removing the 4x weakness and just turning it into 2x weakness to water, you still do, you know, like 30-40% to your own Coalossal. And if your Coalossal is not getting the knockouts onto the opposing side and they survive and then they just retaliate back with the knockout, that can feel kind of tough sometimes. Also, one thing you can take advantage of is that Bruxish is kind of in an awkward position after turn 1 when setting up Coalossal. And so, you know, if Surf has been the move that's been committed, then often the Bruxish just has to switch out immediately, and you can take advantage of that. If you're looking for specific counters to this team, I've really struggled against Bronzong. I think I played 3 Bronzong teams while practicing with this team, and I essentially lost all of them in turn 1. Like, it was Bronzong plus Hard Trick Room, and I kept losing the guessing game because it's like, if Bronzong has Protect or no Protect, do they have Water Terra, Fire Terra, another Terra? Do they Terra at all, right? And so Water Terra in particular, I just like really felt like I had no answer to with the Bruxish Coalossal lead. Fire Terra, I was trying to go for like Wave Crash plus Flare Blitz doubling up into Bronzong, but if Bronzong protects, that's obviously pretty bad. Hard Trick Room in general, I think, is not the easiest matchup for this team, and Bronzong in particular can really enable that. Obviously, with Coalossal, Haze can be a problem as well, and that's from things like Qianpao or Murkrow. It's pretty hard to actually get the Haze off, but I had one game where I led Bruxish Coalossal. My opponent had Murkrow Chi-Yu, and I went for... I was like, okay, I can just Surf Rock Slide, but then I was like, wait, if they Tailwind plus Dark Pulse Bruxish, that can be kind of bad. So I went for Aqua Jet, enabled Weakness Policy, and then Murkrow just hazed everything immediately away, and that felt really bad. So that can be something to obviously watch out for as well. And, you know, the Coalossal just doesn't necessarily always pick up big knockouts, especially if you're able to like, intimidate it, for example, or if you have really physically bulky Pokemon. Physically bulky water types in particular, I think, can be really problematic. That's why Bundle and Abomasnow exist, right? But, like, let's say you don't bring those, or those are eliminated early. Coalossal can really struggle against things like Dondozo, for example, because you just can't really hit them for much damage, and they can retaliate back with a lot more damage with a really strong water type attack. For Abomasnow and Bundle, naturally having opposing weather can be scary. Knowing that there's no Protect on either, you can take advantage of. Knowing that Bundle here, you know, doesn't have booster energy in his specs, you can take advantage of, especially if you're like a booster flutter, let's plus speed, for example. So those are all things that you can leverage to your favor. And yeah, the main thing about Coalossal is I think in the games that I've lost, my opponents have done a really good job of just like not losing too many resources to it. And often they've actually just been able to KO it and like traded positively against it, right? And also Rockslide Earthquake, obviously, if you have wide guard, that can cause some problems as well. So yeah, those are just a couple of things that I've run into. Let's get into these games. Okay, we've got Ting Lu, Abomasnow, Chien-Pao, Dragonite, Chi-Yu, and Flutter. Coalossal honestly looks really good here. I'm thinking of just Bruxish plus Coal. How does my opponent honestly stop that? Like, and also, what is their kind of answer against Abomasnow plus Bundle? The question is whether or not I'd like want to lead with Snow instead. If I were them and I wanted to beat Coalossal, I'd probably consider leading Ting Lu. Something like Ting Lu Dragonite, which would be super weak into Snow. Honestly, for this one, I think I'm down to go for Abomasnow Bundle lead and then try to close out the game. Does that make sense? I think both make sense here. I'm going to go with Bruxish Coal. Mainly because I'm thinking I can pivot Bruxish out and then switch it back in later on. But then the question is, like, do I actually bring out Abomasnow here? Because I think I could just bring out Bundle and Chien-Pao. Chien-Pao's so good here. Hits everything for super effective other than Flutter. But Spinner is so much damage into Flutter. So, yeah. We're just going to go with Coal here. One of the strengths of Coalossal, it's really good into a lot of these special attackers in the format. Whether it be Flutter or Chi-Yu right now. And so, yeah. I think, like, Ting Lu is probably the primary concern. What's interesting about Ting Lu is we could theoretically wave crash into it. Nice. They go Chi-Yu Flutter. So let's see if it's booster here. It is speed or special attack, though. It's speed. Okay. Given that it's speed, I'm going to, instead of clicking Surf, I'm going to go for Aqua Jet instead. I'm going to just Aqua Jet, Ground Terra, and then Earthquake here. And the reason for that is because like Earthquake does more damage, and I really don't want to miss Rock Slide in this position. I'm fine damaging my own Bruxish. If it were special attack, Flutter I'd probably consider otherwise. But because it's... yeah, because it's speed, like I'm worried about... I don't know, them going for just a Shadow Ball to KO Bruxish immediately, and I don't want to risk that. So, let's just go for the Terra here. And that's the nice thing about Bruxish, right? You have two ways to activate the Coalossal, and so you don't have to rely solely on Aqua Jet or solely on Surf. They don't protect either Mon, okay. So there is Steam Engine plus Policy. Okay. We'll see if Flutter targeted... Well, I guess Flutter is not going to move first. I was going to see if it survives who it targets. That's what this combo can do, though. Oh, that's nasty. And that's what's beautiful about this team, right? Because basically my opponent led Flutter plus Chi-Yu probably to counter Abomasnow plus Bundle. But Coalossal just gets to fully take advantage of that. So, yeah. They're going to have Dragonite and Chien-Pao. And this is what's so beautiful about having Bruxish. We actually block priority right now. So they can't even go for a Extreme Speed or a Sucker Punch. So given this, we could just like Aqua Jet this slot and Rock Slide. If I were my opponent, quite frankly, I'd be protecting Chien-Pao here. I'm down to Aqua Jet, Dragonite, and Rock Slide here. Feels pretty safe. And they forgot about Dazzling. Let's go. This is why you use Bruxish. Yeah, this was basically the perfect game to demonstrate how good this duel can be. Nice. And this is how quickly this combo can win, right? So, honestly, I don't think my opponent had too many answers against Bruxish plus Coalossal. Like, it felt really good in this matchup. And we get the flinch to add insult to injury. Sorry, Chien-Pao. But one of the reasons why I love Bruxish with this team is because it blocks priority, and there is honestly a ton of priority right now in the format between Chien-Pao as well as the Dragonite. So, yeah, them not really going for a Terra helped. Obviously, Bruxish just made sure that they couldn't go for priority attacks, and this is basically the dream game that you aim to have when you're using this combination. So, obviously, I'm very, very pleased with how that played out. And, yeah, I think ultimately what ended up helping was Coalossal just, you know, not really being threatened too much, and then just being able to do so much damage across the board. And, like, Ting Lu was actually the Pokemon I was most worried about, just because it can stay on the field for a while. With Ground Terra, like, we're not taking super effective damage from it anymore, but it can still kind of cause some problems, right? But, yeah, I could not have picked a better game to highlight how strong this combination can be into the right team composition. Okay, we've got Palafin here, as well as Chien-Pao. Another Flutter Chi-Yu combo with Dragonite and Tusk. Bundle Abomasnow honestly feels pretty solid here. It's like the same question of, like, do I consider leading it? If you're my opponent, like, which lead do you respect the most? I think what makes the team we're using so scary is I have so many leads, right? Like, Abomasnow plus Bundle, Bruxish plus Coalossal, Dragonite plus Coalossal, even the Iron Bundle plus Coalossal. I lean towards Bruxish and Coal once again here. Feels decent. With the Abomasnow Bundle in the back. I think, like, there is an argument to go Abomasnow Bundle instead, because I could see them going with Palafin immediately. Just a little bit worried about what that means if they go with Flutter Chi-Yu, and that's kind of what we saw in the last game. So, all right, let's see how this plays out. I'm just go for it again. I do think, like, one of the hardest things about using this team, which I mentioned in the team preview, is, like, figuring out what to lead with, because I often feel like in a lot of the losses, I just, like, went with the wrong two, and if I went with the right two, I'd have an immediate advantage here. And so, yeah. They're pretty low on time there. If it's Palafin Flutter lead, maybe they timed out. If it's Palafin Flutter, though, it'd be pretty interesting, because you could theoretically go Water Terra and then just try to, like, punch the Coalossal. So then I would, like, question whether or not I'd actually want to go for a side water type attack onto myself. But it's Chien-Pao Dragonite. I honestly think that's one of the best leads for us to run into here. Because, like, what is their answer here against Surf plus Rock Slide? Before I lock in too quickly, let's just think. I had played against Dragonite before, and it survived on, like, 1 HP from the Surf Rock Slide combo, but that's because they had Ting Lu out on the field. Yeah, I don't see how they're stopping this, honestly. Surf, Terra, Rock Slide. And, like, blocking priority is just so nice, right? Because, like, Chien-Pao Dragonite continues to just be a really strong duo in this format. This was something that, like, literally was established in day one of Scarlet and Violet. Like, before VGC rules were even announced, people were using Chien-Pao Dragonite. And then, obviously, Chien-Pao wasn't allowed for a couple of months. Now that it's legal, you know, it's still really, really good. But I just don't really see too much counterplay here. Okay, Dragonite Terra, show me flying. Normal is fine. You can't extreme speed me right now. You cannot extreme speed me. Colossal's going to Terra here. Surf and Rock Slide will just knock out Chien-Pao before it gets to move if they end up just going for it in attack. Honestly, I think if they click Extreme Speed here on turn 1, it is so hard for them to come back. Because you just gave up your flying typing on Dragonite as well. But very smartly enough, they do not click E-Speed there. So the Terra on Dragonite was essentially just a defensive Terra, which is also smart. I think if they actually don't go for that, they also just immediately lose. I'm at mercy of missing Rock Slide right now, which is pretty scary. But we do double connect. Brilliant. Okay. Just immediately knock out Chien-Pao, which is great. What does Dragonite opt for here? Just Dragon Claw. Okay. Does a lot, but not enough to get the knockout, which is critical. So that's good. You know, what's interesting, though, is, like, Bruxish right now obviously has its ability, but how much does that ability actually help me, right? Because I'd have to click Surf in order to move. They bring out Tusk. So, I honestly think the best play here is to actually just switch out into Abomasnow. Protect here. And then the next turn, I'm just going to switch the Abomasnow directly back out into Bruxish to activate Dazzling for the turn, and then just click an attack. We don't know the item on Tusk, so I feel like I want to give it respect and assume Choice Scarf until I see otherwise. I wonder if, like, yeah. It would be funny if they ended up just clicking Extreme Speed here. But they very smartly don't. Okay, it's just Rock Slide. Further cementing my thought that it is going to be Choice Scarfed. Nicely done. That really looks like CB damage to me, actually. Yeah, I'm like 90% sure that's Choice Banded. You should not do that much to an Abomasnow with the Snow boost if you're not Banded. And Banded Dragonite obviously makes so much sense here, right? I'm honestly thinking of just going for, Helping Hand EQ here. Yeah, I didn't recognize the band damage earlier when Dragonite targeted Coalossal, but I'm pretty sure it is. Yep, they don't Extreme Speed. I wonder if we KO Tusk here. I don't think we do. That's fine, though. Crit on Dragonite, crit on Tusk would have just ended the game there. I don't know if that was honestly the right play. I think it was actually probably to KO the Tusk with the Helping Hand Flare Blitz, because Rock Slide will get the double KO here. But I think that's fine still. The main problem is I don't know what their last one is. Oh, did they not knock out Coalossal there? That's pretty sick. I'll take that. With that, let's just go out into Bruxish. She used their last one. Nice. We know it's Scarf on the Tusk. I can just Earthquake here. Yeah, I think it was fine to go either way. The thing is, Rock Slide, or sorry, no, EQ wasn't going to miss in that position. Yeah, so we were fine. What's the one thing to cover for here? If it's Sash Chiyu, yeah, I mean, we should have this locked up guaranteed. Scarf is on the Tusk, so I can just go for Wave Crash here onto Chiyu. Honestly, Wave Crash Earthquake is fine, right? Yeah. I don't think there was any way in which we were losing that. But once again, this is how strong Coalossal can be. I cannot express how important Bruxish has been, because if I had went with the Abomasnow and Bundle, it would have looked pretty good against Dragonite plus Champow, but they ended up being normal Terra with the Choice Band, right? So then they could just pressure me with Extreme Speed onto a Bundle immediately. You could even Extreme Speed plus Sacred Sword into a Bundle slot, which is really scary. I guess like one play I could go for if I go Abomasnow Bundle is just pivot out the Abomasnow into Bruxish to soak up the potential Extreme Speed, but then a Sacred Sword is still pretty scary. And in best of one, things get a little volatile. But yeah, the reality is that Coalossal was just in a really good spot immediately. I think if Champow had protected on turn 1, that actually would have been pretty crucial, because then the defense drop actually would have still stayed on the field, and that actually might have been the difference maker in whether or not Coalossal survived that turn. So them giving up Champow immediately just made the game significantly easier. And then, yeah, being able to kind of guess on the items on Dragonite and the Tusk made things a little bit easier as well. So, yeah. I mean, once again, like, one of the reasons why I love this combo is because it just matches up really well into so many common Pokemon and strategies, right? Chiyu's everywhere, Flutter's everywhere, Champow Dragonite's everywhere, and you can see just how effective this duo can be against those. Okay, we've got Saboy Ceruledge here with Slowbro, Mouse Ape, and the Ting Lu. So they don't have ground resistance or immunity, so I'm thinking Coalossal here can just kind of Earthquake its way through. We're immune to Fake Out from Sableye as well, so I'm thinking Bruxish Coal, basically. Bruxish Coal. I mean, I've led it every game, but it just continues to work, right? Ceruledge is pretty scary. It's going to be Grass Terra most of the time. Could be Steel Terra. I think Bundle makes sense to Freeze Dry into Grass. Chimpao, Abomasnow, Dragonite. I don't like Dragonite here. Dragonite's really good if you can get value out of Terra Blast or they have Amoonguss, and we just haven't really run into those teams. Chimpao's valuable for the defense drop. Well, honestly, I'm pretty down for Abomasnow Bundle. I think getting the defense boost onto the Abomasnow is actually pretty solid. The main thing, though, is with my Bruxish plus Colead, if they just go with Mouse Ape, I might actually be in some trouble. So I'm thinking maybe I should have considered Abomasnow Bundle here to try to pressure, like, Annihilate to Terra early, because often it's going to be Fire Terra, and if you Fire Terra, then it opens the door for Coalossal. But they go with Sableye and Annihilate. Interesting. Okay. I want to be a little bit careful about actually clicking Surf here, because I don't want to stack up Rage Fist here. Like, I think Aqua Jet, Terra, Flare Blitz here makes the most sense to me. Maybe I target Annihilate instead, but I don't know. I could see Annihilate protecting a Sableye sets up Reflect. But then I guess if you do that, so what? I really don't like fighting against Sableye. Actually, you know, because I have Bruxish here, I don't think I need to respect Sableye that much. I do think I actually should just be launching attacks into the Annihilate. But, I don't know, in my head there's a world in which Annihilate protects here, Sableye tries to go for something, and I just, like, KO it on turn 1. But I don't know what Sableye said it is. Like, dual screens here actually makes a lot of sense. Okay. Oh! Well, yeah, you can't even quash there. Ah, that's... I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's fine. Like, I get the one-hit KO on a Sableye, but, what is Annihilate going for here? Bulk up? That works. Okay. So once again, you can see how, like, Sableye is obviously not nearly as meta as something like Dragonite plus Chimpao. But, yeah. Being able to block the priority from that is super nice. So they bring out Ceruledge. Either of these mons could protect right now. They should know they can't priority anymore. So it's like, do I actually risk switching out is one of the interesting questions here. I personally don't hate a switch out into the Abomasnow and then just protect this turn to scout out for which one of the two maybe considers a Terra or a Protect. But I also think I can just launch Flare Blitz here directly into Annihilate. I might actually stay in here then. Aqua Jet here, and then... Actually, I'm going to double up onto Ape. The scary thing here is Annihilate could protect us Ceruledge's attacks, but we're going to see Terra, so let's see what Terra type it is. Okay, show me Grass. Good. Now Iron Bundle can freeze dry that for super effective. Okay, either slot protects, so that's fine. Hoping we get the KO onto Annihilate here. +2, boosted Flare Blitz. Good. The problem is if they're Terra Blasting... Well, actually, it's not a problem, because now Blizzard's just hitting the Ceruledge for super effective, right? This team is so fast-paced. It's kind of crazy how quickly these games go. Alright, Terra Blast. But that's fine, because I think now Abomasnow Bundle, I have Choice Specs Blizzard. what can they have in the back that's scary? We eliminated Sableye, we eliminated Annihilate. Those were honestly the two Pokemon I was most worried about. Funnily enough, I think Abomasnow Bundle actually would have been a decent lead into that, but the main thing here is we got the Terra out of Ceruledge, and now we can take advantage of it. And it's Ting-Lu in the back, so this is perfect, right? Like, I've got Choice Specs here. The only downside, obviously, is I can't Terra, and they have Vessel of Ruin. But I think this should be Assault Vest. Sorry, this should be Assault Vested. So I think I can just go for Blizzard and Helping Hand right now. And I want a Helping Hand Blizzard rather than double Blizzard here, because I would expect Ceruledge to outspeed Abomasnow, and I don't want to just Blizzard, have the Ceruledge survive, and then let them Bitter Blade into either slot. Whereas with Helping Hand, I think even with Vessel of Ruin, that should be a knockout onto a Ceruledge, right? And if you protect Ceruledge, well, what is Ting-Lu really going to do? The scariest would probably be a Stone Edge into a Shadow Sneak, but I'm not even sure that KOs. Ceruledge does protect, okay, so then Double Blizzard actually may have ended up being better here for the freeze chance, because I don't think this KOs anyway. Let's find out. But if they don't have Stone Edge, then I don't think we have too much to worry about. It is Rock Slide, but I should take that decent. Oh, yeah, that did nothing. That did 30 damage. So we just go for Helping Hand Blizzard. And I think that's one of my favorite things about this team. It does such a good job of baiting out one Terra, so then your other combo can take advantage of it, right? To me, there's two very clear cores with this team. Abomasnow plus Bundle, and then everything else around Coalossal, right? And then Champa is kind of like a standalone that can be flexed in. But essentially, Grass Terra is so common right now. A lot of people are going to Grass Terra. And then also, you know, a lot of people are going to go for example, Poison Terra with Ting-Lu to get around Coalossal, for example. Or sorry, Poison Terra, Ting-Lu to get around Abomasnow plus Bundle, but then if you do that, Coalossal can take advantage of it, right? So I just love how this team is like, okay, you Terra first, but then now I just have another combo that just completely demolishes the brand new type that you've turned into. And so, yeah, like, it's just kind of a team that can very quickly steamroll with offense, and if you kind of make the wrong Terra, or I kind of hold the resources, I just get a huge advantage as a result. Okay, we've got Gambit, Ting-Lu, Dragonite, Bundle, Flutter, and Dondozo. So, what do I want to do against this? I don't think Dragonite makes that much sense. I've struggled a lot against Dondozo while using this team. It's a really big problem because it just like completely walls Coalossal and can wave crash us. So my goal is to eliminate Dondozo ideally in the early game. It's going to be a pretty big problem though. I think I'm going to lean into Snow as the lead here, and then go with Bruxish and Coalossal as the end game. I also think I should be considering maybe the... I was going to say Bundle Coal lead. I just don't think Coalossal can put in that much work in the early game here if Dondozo is led. But I guess the question is whether or not they actually lead it. If they end up not leading Dondozo, then Coalossal actually would have been fairly strong. Maybe it was better to commit to... I just like really like the idea of getting the defense boost immediately, having Helping Hand pressure as well. And they do lead Dondozo. Okay, cool. As well as King Gambit. This is kind of tough because I would expect Dondozo to protect turn 1, Gambit to maybe just go for an Iron Head or Kowtow Cleave. If I'm to win this game, I need a KO Dondozo, so I'm actually down to just Freeze Dry plus Blizzard turn 1, force Dondozo to protect, and then Freeze Dry it again turn 2. The problem is my opponent can just switch Dondozo out on turn 2 to get around this. Alright, they're going to Terra, but if it's Steel Terra, for example, that means Coalossal now puts in work. The problem is Unaware, isn't it? Yeah, that poses issues. Jeez, that took nothing. We're probably gonna need a little bit of good luck to win this one. Double Steal, but Unaware Dozo. Chien Pao would have been the solution. It's really hard in best of one though without knowing Dozo's Terra type, but I guess Steel is so common on like a set like this in particular, right? They went for Yawn for Iron Head. I wouldn't be surprised if they Yawn the same slot to cover for the switch. I'm gonna double switch here. If I had Auroraville, this would be easier as well, but yeah, I guess I needed to bring Chien Pao, huh? Because Chien Pao would have been really good against this duel right now. So if it was Chien Pao and... The awkward thing is then, what's my last one? It's Bruxish? Like, maybe regular Coalossal here is still fine. Alright, they try to Sucker, that's good. Yeah, they click Yawn again. How important is Bruxish here? I don't think it's too crucial. Like, I think I can afford to let it fall asleep. One play I'm also thinking about is Protect here, switch out into Abomasnow, and then Helping Hand Flare Blitz into Dondozo. I thought about just sending it here and going for Surf, Terra, EQ. My problem is with Unaware Dondozo, assuming that's the case, they can just Wave Crash or Yawn into me. And then where do I go from there, right? Bruxish falls asleep. Colossal's going to fall asleep after the next turn. Does it just KO me, though? Alright, that's not good. Good read. Good play. Yep. This is an absolute nightmare to break through. Oh, hold up, though. Now I have Specs Hydro Pump to deal with Dondozo. Wait, that's actually really strong, isn't it? I think I'm going to Ground Terra this. So I'm going to Ground Terra, EQ, and Hydro. Oh, I was going to say I could Flip Turn here. Do we think this protects, basically, is the question. I honestly think no. So I'm going to try to just knock out Dondozo this turn with a Hydro Pump and an Earthquake. But if Dondozo protects, then I could have gone Flip Turn, EQ, gotten my boosts off, got a free switch and in a Bruxish. I think I just don't have that much experience fighting against like solo Dozo without Tatsugiri, and this is like obviously like the super bulky sets. And the only other time I had played against this, they weren't Steel Terra, or they already committed their Terra. Okay, they go for Sucker, which is totally okay with me here. Hydro hits, that's huge. Oh. Okay, I needed to Flare Blitz probably then. I don't think EQ KOs either here. They're just so bulky. No. Oh, that's so sad. Okay. This is still totally winnable. I think I kind of have to switch right now, and I'm just going to go for the Hydro Pump onto Gambit. I should have Flare Blitzed. Like, they didn't have leftovers, so them having a bulky berry felt like the only real possibility, and I should have factored that into my calculations. Oh, interesting. They don't go for Sucker Punch. Okay. So we knock out Gambit, which is good. And they do go for Wave Crash. Oh, that's huge. That's huge. Did they feign from that? No. Stowe stops, though, and we still have Coalossal healthy in the back with the weakness policy intact. Okay, Flutter comes out. I think with Flutter, I'm willing to go for Surf here and then pivot out into Coalossal. If it's Specs Flutter and they end up Shadow Balling that slot or Moonblasting, it's pretty risky though. Alternatively, I could just Wave Crash here and Hydro Pump, but I could lose off a Hydro Pump miss. Maybe Wave Crush actually just KOs. I'm gonna send it. Alright, Bruxish. How clutch are you? No! Okay. Does bundle hit? Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. Oh, my goodness. I was going to say, you know what's funny? If the Dondozo clicks Wave Crash, it just ends up fainting from recoil at this point. So they get Yawn off. What's their last one? Is it Bundle? Booster Bundle would be my absolute nightmare here, but that looks like Ting Lu. That's very good to see. Oh my gosh, this is so close. Because I'm double choice locked, so I can't switch. Cole should just EQ to win against this, though. So I honestly think I just go for Wave Crash here and Hydro Pump onto the Ting Lu. Because that should be Assault Vested. So let's just get as much damage off into it as possible. Yep, that protects. That's fine. I don't know if it was appropriate to switch out into Coalossal, but hey, late game Bruxish is just putting in work right now. Oh my gosh, that did a lot. Okay, well, if we hit Hydro Pump, we just win here, but I've needed to hit a lot of Hydro Pumps. I feel like we're due for a miss. Oh my goodness. I hate clicking Hydro Pump with Iron Bundle, but the Iron Bundle this time around was so clutch, and it hit every single one. So, we found a solution against the Steel Dondozo, which was Specs Bundle clicking Hydro Pump a billion times. Alright, now I can just switch out and freeze dry. I think my main misplay in this game was not flare blitzing, though, and going for that Earthquake play. If we got that knockout, the pace of this battle would have been accelerated. The fact it was weakness policy, Ting Lu scared me as well, because I was thinking, okay, if you're not weakness policy, Wave Crush does a ton. Even if you get a double KO, I bring out Coalossal, but I'm Ground Terra. I outspeed your Dondozo, EQ KOs you, and then it's a 1v1. I can just flare blitz. But weakness policy was the worst item to run into, because it meant that if we miss, I think I just 100% lose the game. I guess not 100%, because I could like Rock Slide crit into flare blitz. So maybe it wasn't like... Maybe it's actually not as bad as I thought. The other question is whether or not like single target plus 2 EQ would KO me. Probably. But yeah, that was definitely an interesting one. I think steel types in general are a nightmare for this team if utilized properly. And like it's specific steel types, I guess. Like I've gotten wrecked by Bronzong 2 times I played it. Steel Terra Dondozo, absolute nightmare as well. But the upside was that we actually got so much damage. Like Bundle hit every Hydro Pump there, right? I think if I miss one, the game is just so much more difficult, especially because everything was surviving as well, and I needed kind of this double up. But hey, when Bundle hits Specs Hydro Pump, it is one of the best Pokemon in the format, so I'll definitely count my luck here with all the hits. Okay, what do we got here? Flutter, Chiyu, Goldengo, Azumarill, Mouse, and the Flutter main. I'm pretty scared about this because I think Mouse Goldengo, Water Terra Goldengo is an absolute nightmare. Ugh. I'm thinking we just brute force it, Bruxish Coal, and Surf Ground Terra EQ through everything here. I mean, once again, not the matchup for Dragonite. Just the constant debate of do I go Chien-Pao plus bundle or Abomasnow bundle. I don't think I'm clicking Blizzard that much. I think Freeze Dry and Hydro are actually more valuable, so I want Chien-Pao. And I don't think the defense boost is that helpful. Like, it would mainly be valuable into Chien-Pao. But I think what this boils down to is how bulky is Goldengo. I think like Mouse Goldengo, I could just go Surf, Ground Terra, EQ turn 1. It's also a question of how bulky Mouse is, right? And also, yeah, I guess Azumarill is also kind of hard to fight against because I could just go for super effective water type attacks into me. Like water types in general can give Cole trouble, right? Because like it can survive our attacks and then retaliate back for a knockout. That's what I was worried about with Dondozo in that previous game. It is Mouse Goldengo. Yep. So here I think it's like my opponent just goes for Water Terra. Oh, Air Balloon. Well, that's interesting because Surf gets rid of that. I'm going straight for Surf and EQ here. I'm not even thinking twice. I would rather see Air Balloon than a Choice Specs or Leftovers because I can get rid of the Balloon with Surf super easily here. So What's really interesting about this to me is if you're Air Balloon, it might not be Water Terra then. Okay. Here's Cole. I'm sorry for what I'm about to do. Nice. Okay. Very nice. See, it didn't KO Mouse. I also crit myself, but I guess it's fine. Wait, is it fine? If they have a Zoomer now, they could go for, like, Aqua Jet onto me, but at least we KO'd Golden Go. My biggest fear was, like, a defensive Terra for Golden Go, and then it just, like, survives. Citrus on the Mouse. Okay. It was a good turn 1, but a Zoomer is still a huge problem for me here. Twitch Bundle is a really good response because I can Specs Blizzard. Sorry, Specs Freeze Dry. Flutter. Okay. That's fine. No booster. Self EQ is pretty risky, but like they don't have a defensive switch in. So normally I'd be a little bit wary of it, but I don't think I actually knock out my own bundle from it. So I'm down to just Freeze Dry plus Earthquake here, I think. It covers for Focus Sash. Oh, it does it? No, if it's Focus Sash Flutter, they could actually just go follow me. I could Blizzard. I just don't want to miss. Chimp on the back. I clicked Rock Slide, but like... Okay, they just go for follow me. Yeah, it's like... Okay, we hit. We're fine. Wait, are we? I don't think Specs Freeze Dry actually KOs Flutter. Ooh, I took that better than I thought it would. Oh my goodness. Well, that's on me. I could have clicked Earthquake there. I just wasn't sure about the item on Flutter. Wow, that's tanky. I mean, it's not that shocking, but the fact it took a +2 Rock Slide plus a Specs Freeze Dry is impressive. I mean, I think it's still okay because I have Sash, Chimpao in the back. I don't know the item on Flutter, but it's got to be Specs, right? It got the KO onto me there. It's like just probably super bulky Specs. I mean, I'm not going to risk. I'm just going to Freeze Dry into that slot and Sacred Sword into this slot. If it actually has Protect, so be it, but I just didn't think they would KO me without Specs earlier, and yeah. Freeze Dry Flare Blitz probably would have done it for me. Why was I so worried about Focus Sash? I don't think I needed to be. Yeah, Sash is on the Chimpao. Also, they have Chimpao on their team, right? So it's like, would they really have Sash on Flutter there, especially with the Mouse on their team? Probably not. Okay. And since I have Sash here, the one way I could throw this game is... Well... I mean, Sacred Sword always just wins because I have Sash here. I was going to say, the one way I could throw is if I like try to Sucker Punch them, they win a speed tie, I fail, and then they just keep winning the Sucker Punch speed ties. And then we play a mind game, and then eventually I click Sacred Sword, and then they just outspeed me. But because I have Focus Sash here, this is basically a guaranteed win. So, yeah. That was... I mean, it felt like after turn 1, I should have just won the game, right? And, yeah, I wonder if... Like, they never even Terra'd that game, huh? Yeah. But I'm guessing they just didn't really have a good opportunity to, right? Like, this is what Coalossal takes advantage of. Unless you have a Flying Terror on that team, right? Like, EQ is just so good across the board. And, yeah, I think the main thing here was they probably thought they were pretty safe because they're like, oh, I have Redirection. I'm going to redirect your Aqua Jet away. And Bruxish is like, nope, time to surf. And we really just got going from there. So, yeah, this combo is just so ridiculously fun. All right, I think this is going to be the last one to end it. Rank 85. We've had a really nice win streak today. I lost a lot while getting the hang of this team, and I honestly ran into a lot of bad matchups when first playing with it, but I feel like I've had a very good string of matchups, and we've been able to execute Coalossal basically to success in every game, so I'm pretty happy about that. They have an Amoonguss here, so I'm honestly thinking it's time to bring Dragonite, especially because we've got Inner Focus as well, so we are immune to Fake Out from potentially Grimmsnarl as well as Intimidate from the Tauros. Alright, let's give Dragonite a shot. I haven't really showed it as much love throughout the course of today. You know, wildly enough, Bruxish is still pretty decent for offense thanks to Wave Crash and Psychic Fangs. Probably want some special attacking, though. So, like, I definitely want Bundle. But I like Bundle Bruxish, because I think Wave Crash and Psychic Fangs is actually really nice as a closer. To the point where I like it more than Chien-Pao, honestly. I don't know if that's the right decision, but we'll see. Alright. See what they go with. Chi-Yu plus Tauros. This is really interesting because it's like the play I honestly want to make is you would think Coalossal is the main threat right now if you're my opponent. Also, Coalossal being intimidated isn't great, right? So like I kind of want to just Terra Blast into Tauros. And then just protect Cole. And then, like, I could Aqua Jet into EQ next turn, for example. I'm also thinking about switching out Coalossal because the Intimidate's honestly a little bit annoying. I definitely want to be Terra Blasting here, I think. Alright, I'm fine with a Protect. But Tauros could very easily Protect here as well, right? To which then I'll be kind of sad because then I could have gone for side Aqua Jet into EQ. Okay. Alright, Tauros isn't protecting. No Terra from either. It's Raging Bull. Perfect. No, we can't flinch. We have Inner Focus. I was gonna be like, no flinch, please. But, yeah, we're good. I don't know. Maybe it was better to switch out into Bruxish there. I just thought, like, the thing is now I can go for Aqua Jet into Rock Slide or EQ this next turn. But the thing is at +1, do I even knock out either? I'm not sure. I'm just glad to show Dragonite some love. I think my fear was, what, like, Tauros protecting. They do bring out Flutter. Booster. Special attack, that's really good news for what I've got in the back. I'm kind of down to just Aqua Jet here and send it. I'll go for Rock Slide because a flinch would be game-changing on either. They don't protect. Okay. Coalossal, can you hit your Rock Slide right now? Earthquake was a little bit more consistent there, but Rock Slide is so good because of the flinch chance. Alright, it double connects. Oh, wow. We get the flinch on Flutter, though. That's huge. Okay. That's why I wanted to click Rock Slide, right? Because now, we get to bring out our little friend Bruxish. See, I don't know. I think it was correct to... but the thing is, even if we were at +2, we would have gotten the knockout. But they might have been Focus Sashed on the Chi-Yu, right? Anyway, now I can click... I mean, I'm definitely wave crashing into Flutter. Flutter can protect. I'm worried about a Amoonguss being their last one. Wait, maybe I want a Psychic Fangs instead, actually. E-Speed. Psychic Fangs. Is that a Moongus switching in? I should have... Nope, it's Annihilate. Okay. Oh my gosh, they Terra. If I don't KO with Psychic Fangs, then like not Wave Crashing was kind of a throw. But they could be Water Terra. Like Flutter sometimes is Water Terra. It's just very Terra though. Okay, does Psychic Fangs KO? Because if not, then that'll be really sad. I also could have Terra Blasted there instead. I should have done that. Oh, that's on me. I just got a little too nervous that turn. Both Mons actually survived though. Wow. Didn't expect that. Okay. Terra Blast you. Actually, Ape will probably be faster, right? E-Speed you. Psychic Fangs into you. I played that last turn super poorly. Like, I should always be assuming bulk. I think it might still be okay, though. It's a lot of damage. It's not Citrus either. I think we're fine. I think we're fine. Wait, are we? If it's Scarf Chiyu, we're not fine. Funny thing is, if you're Scarf Chiyu, do you actually outspeed Bruxish? Because that's kind of a weird speed stat to cover for. You'd also need to double hit Heat Wave, right? But, like, if I just Wave Crashed and Terra Blasted, that would have just been game over immediately. So it's like, even if I were to win this, I don't feel great because I just messed that one turn up pretty badly, in my opinion. Anyway, I think we just commit to locking into Freeze Dry. Into that slot. Psychic Fangs into Annihilate. Annihilate should protect here. You sacrifice Flutter, bring out Chiyu. Wait, no, Chiyu's definitely not Scarf, right? Wait, can we say we confirmed that? Turn 1, it was what? Dragonite plus Coalossal. I protected. They Raging Bolt into me. Dark Pulse into Dragonite. I took 40%. Terra Blast into Annihilate. Or sorry, into Tauros. Oh, they go for the double. That's interesting. That doesn't really change much. Yeah, I mean, so basically the main reason I clicked Psychic Fangs in this endgame was because I thought Amoonguss being the last one for my opponent's end, it made a lot of sense. And if I lock into Wave Crash with the Bruxish, and it is Amoonguss, I think I'm in a very bad spot where Psychic Fangs covered for everything. We're honestly not in the worst position right now. Wait, actually, what am I worried about? There's no way, even if you were Scarf on Chiyu, it's not like you would knock out both Mons right now, right? Because we're Water Psychic with Bruxish. That's exactly why I wanted to bring it into this battle. Oh, never mind. Sorry, I'm super low HP. But does Scarf Heatwave KO is the question. We have a good amount of special defense bulk. Alright, they're not Scarfed. I feel like that battle was a whirlwind. I'm like, did I see any information to make me realize it was Scarfed or not? Because I feel like I probably did, and I need to rewatch the battle, but I feel like I was just like, it was such a blur. Like, there was just so much going on, but I'm really happy to have featured Dragonite. Dragonite was so essential in this game. They didn't even end up bringing Amoonguss, but would have covered for it pretty nicely as well. I guess, now that I think about it, why would you bring Amoonguss into a team that has literally 6 Pokemon that can hit it for super effective damage? It's pretty hard to bring it into the matchup. Yeah. But Dragonite was really huge because of the inner focus, preventing the Intimidate, and then just one-shotting Tauros, which then kind of enabled the Coalossal. But obviously I got that lucky flinch on the Flutter as well. But, you know, when you use Rock Slide and it double connects, your odds of flinching at least one of the two is fairly high as is. And so that's the main reason I wanted to click it in that position. So, yeah. But what a set of games it was. This team is honestly so much more legit than I think a lot of people give it credit for. This is, like, Bruxish Coalossal is actually an absolute threat to be, you have to respect it. And I think hopefully the last 6 games have demonstrated just how good this combination can be. So I hope you enjoyed, because I had so much fun with this one. And yeah, thanks so much as always for watching. Thank you to Yuki Rotom for building and sharing this team. Leave a like if you enjoy, and I'll see you all soon. All right, peace.